Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, how are you doing? Yes, you are in the right place. If you're seeing up top, the Coaches Lounge with yours truly, Barbara J. Beckley. Yes, and all the wonderful experts that I bring on. Sometimes I do, just educational sessions on the Coaches Lounge, and sometimes, majority of the time, I bring some wonderful experts, some coaches, I say coaches, um, certified, spectacular experts of the universe, and the list goes on. I want to put these coaches to a high, high, high spotlight because these are individuals that I always tell people that take us, if you have a coach, takes us through to get to our goals, to get to our objectives in life. And a lot of times we don't give the love like we should. We don't give that little hug, that little virtual hug if you're doing virtual, or if you're in person, just say, you know what, thank you for helping me lift up my brand, help me lift up my business, my personal life. So this is the Coaches Lounge where I do that. I bring on different experts, different coaches, coordinators, educators, just so they can get the love and you can understand who they are. So today, of all days, I always love when I have the women. They are queens. Yes, they are royalty. And this particular queen, I had her on one of my other shows, and she's coming on the Coaches Lounge today. And see, I told her, I said, you know what, Shantay, I love you so much. You have to come on my other show. I need you to come on my other show. Just couldn't get enough of her. Learned so much. I love her title. Well, she's gonna talk a little about the honey. And I love it. So let me just give you just a little taste of who she is. Shantay Adams is a dynamic honey fire lighthouse certified international speaker, author, peer counselor, coach, and founder of CEO of Fresh New Consulting LLC and Seeker Surrender Life Ministries. She serves by providing consultation services, peer counseling, coaching, and is a licensed minister by grace through faith. She's worked in the human resource, as leadership, coaching, teaching, and consulting experience, serving individuals in business, in the marketplace, and in leadership. She believes you accomplish more and go further with honey rather than vinegar. Yes, and I totally agree with that. In fact, when I heard that concept from her last time when I interviewed her, I've been using it around where I work at corporate. So I got to just let her know that it is catching her saying her oaths. It is catching. People are saying it in my workplace. So thank you, Queen. Thank you, Queen. So with that, we will bring this wonderful Queen on. You get a chance to meet her more and really understand that concept, because I'm telling you, it's very powerful. And it was just funny because I was just saying the other day to somebody, every time somebody says, I say, you could catch more with honey than with vinegar. And they're like, okay. So here we go. Hello,
Oh,
hello.
hello, Queen. Oh my goodness. I was right so giddy when I heard you say that testimony about the people on your job with the honey. Oh my goodness. It's like that a hour. So I'm just it made my evening just then. My heart is just like, yes. So I was like, yes.
Every other day, I am saying that to somebody on my job, and they're like, "Oh my God, Barbara, okay, we get it."
Right. But you know what? But that was something I learned. And it's just like so amazing because it's so true. It's a very true thing. Bees are attracted to that. So that things are attracted to that which is sweet. Nothing is attracted to that which is bitter. It really is not. Just in life, just who wants that? So the
Yeah.
fact that you said, and it's catching on like wildfire, I love it.
Yes.
Yay.
Yes. And that it is you the one that started me on that. So see, you coach me.
See, there we go. See, that's how we influence one another in a good way. In a
In a
good way.
and that's what I'm like. And see, that's what I'm talking about. You just said in a good way, how things that you said positive, I listened to it. It got in me. It got in my, not just here, but it's here. Because like I
Yeah.
said, I just say it now. It's just like automatic. And now other people are catching on to it and they're getting it and they're understanding. See? So you started,
Yeah.
I feel like you started a little movement with that.
You know what? I receive that. By grace, I receive that. I hope it does be a movement because it'll make these people won't be so like mean and poor attitude and negative and just poor energy, so it shifts the atmosphere and make people be more conscious of their behavior, what they say, what they do, how they respond. So it makes us more of a conscious society, I
Yes.
guess.
Yeah.
In
And,
a
and, and
good
I
way.
was just to add to that, Queen, is now even when I say it, like I said, I say it to others, but then I say it to myself even. So if I even feel the urge, which a lot of times I don't, hopefully I don't sound like I'm to people, but sometimes you have those days, right?
Dude, that's
So
true.
and
That's true.
people will start to, they do little triggers on you too, like especially customer service. They be like, nah, 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 nah. And you want to be like, and then
I know.
but I stop and I think about what you told me. And I was like, they're really being kind of mean right now. I don't want
Right.
to throw. And I said, no, I get it with honey better than vinegar. Let me
Right.
do this the right way. And I changed my whole
Mindset.
mindset of it. It's just that like that. It changed just like that because of that. So
That is, but you know what? Let me. I'm digging that a little deeper. That is so true because it was one thing when I wrote the book about Virtue Honeybee Lady. When I wrote the book about release the honey, then I had to go back and start consciously saying it all the time. And you're right. When I started to just consciously say that daily, that I'm going to release honey, I'm gonna go further with honey than vinegar. I have to eat this. So it's not
mm,
just me saying to you all, but when I start doing, like you said yourself, it does change your mindset. It makes you more aware. It makes you say, okay, I want to release honey. I want to pour that out. I get more with honey than vinegar. I go further with it. All those different things. It does really shift your mindset, the way you respond and your perspective. So it does. I can testify that of myself personally. So when you stand it, it's so true. It really
yeah,
is. It really
it
is.
is. And that's what it's all about, changing that mindset from like that. If it's a negative thing going on or whatever is going on, I always say flip it. So I flipped it with what you said, and it just automatically, it didn't even take me long. That's the
Mm.
nice part about it. It's like I thought about it, I'm like, nope, got to do the honey. And then
Do the honey. Do the honey. Yes.
the vinegar, the
But,
vinegar ain't gonna
but,
work.
I love that it catches on. I have been at events and people will say, "The honey, here's the honey lady," and think about it. This is the thing, Queen Barbara. I have said it when I got it. I said I'm gonna be known for that, and I just put it out there and I just declared it, and it's so I go to different things. The people who know me know about the honey.
Mhm.
They will say it to me. They will say, "There's a honey lady. There's a honey lady. You got some honey for me?" So when
So
I
I
say,
just
so it's growing legs. It's getting legs. It's getting legs. It's getting legs now. So I just say, God, you get the glory.
That's awesome. Well, you just like, has some people, when I talk about branding, you think about what McDonald's, they got that da 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 song, and
Yeah,
it's McDonald's. So when they hear honey, honey and vinegar, they know that you're the honey lady. So you have
yeah.
that brand. Hmm.
That is so true. I have a branding coach, and she says that to me. She would say it's a brand. She would say, and go all the way, go with it, go with it. And so she says it to me back. I mean, it's just I have fully emerged. Let's just say that fully
Take it all
emerged
in,
in it. I
Queen.
say all in, all living
All in.
in.
It's a good all in too.
It's a good all in. It's a good all in. It is.
So, we just got taken away by your wonderful wisdom. And I want the audience to get to know who you are before you became the honey lady and everything. So just
Okay.
give us a little snippet, just a little, background of how do you become this amazing, wonderful queen?
I thought about that. For some reason I knew that question was going to be asked of me. that
Mhm.
question in particular. And I thought about it. Matter of fact, I got home today, I sat in the car and I
Mm.
thought about, I was going to start from the point of HR. But when I got
Mm.
home today, I thought about it again. And it really started from me serving as a child. A little
Mm.
girl, I've always had a heart to serve. I've always had a heart to serve. I grew up just very servanthood, and I believe in servanthood to this day. Matter of fact, it's the last chapter in the book about
Mhm.
serving. I've always just had a heart for that, and I now know why. But at the time, I just always had a heart to serve. So
Mm.
fast forward to me in HR. When I got into HR, I wanted to give back, and so one of the ways of me wanting to give back in the community was for me to volunteer. And one
Mm.
of the ways that I volunteered was actually coach people like with resumes and how to like develop and what to say on
Mm.
interviews. So that coaching there, I think was always in me, but I
Yes.
desired to take it further, and that was a way to serve, give back, and to coach, and to encourage and to see people see their potential in others. That's what coaches do. They see what's in you and they help
Mhm.
cultivate that in you.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so I naturally did it, didn't realize that that coach was in me, but I never considered myself a quote unquote coach
Mhm.
until
Mhm.
maybe a few years ago, and then I still was kind of like,
Kind of.
yeah, somewhat kind of say, okay, I could be a coach. I kind of like career coaching, maybe, and so I kind of like figured my way through that process for like a few years, and
Mhm.
then the honey came about maybe 2 years ago. The
Okay.
2 years ago, I think I spoke to you about the last time we were together about how um, I was reading books about honey. It just everything was about honey. It was almost like it was chasing me down,
Wow.
like it was supposed to be me to have to talk about honey at this time.
Mhm.
And I decided last year to write a book on releasing the honey and
Mhm.
about when life throws curveballs, when life goes for a turn, how do you navigate through that, and
Mhm.
I learned about honey and how honey is sweet and then we will attract more with honey. And then also too, when I was married,
Mhm.
so he said, he said, you get more with honey than vinegar.
Mhm.
And he used to say that to me a lot. And I didn't get it until post my divorce when I wrote the book, which was last year. And then when it all started coming, everything, all these different things from 2 years ago, and when I was married several years back, the
Mhm.
present time, all that came out with the honey. And it really transformed my life. And I figure now
Mhm.
that I'm at this point where it transformed me. Now I want to really go back and transfer other ladies and other men, whoever, I'm called to coach. So that's where I'm at now. Is just really allowing the honey to really come front and center and make sure I'm eating the honey. That's what I always say. I have to eat the honey so I can release it, so I can
Mhm.
coach it. I can help others who, um, in life situations, whether it be good or bad, to eat that
Mhm.
honey, release the honey. It's a big deal. It's so
Mhm.
much I can say, but I don't want to talk too much. But it is something that I know has blessed me, and I'm at a point in my life in my walk. I want to turn around and help bless others and help them
Yes.
navigate through things. So
Yeah, and I love Queen. Just go back, just to peel back a little bit when you said at the beginning how you started, and you said you were going to think about the human resources part of it that you did, but you went back to even when you were younger, when you were always automatically was in your it seemed like it was in your genes. It was just a part of you about serving
it was
and
probably less. Yes.
about serving, and I can see that. I can see that in you, that you just love to serve. You love to help people. You want to see people get to the next level of their lives. You just,
Yes.
like even when you were younger, you were just trying to help. Say, hey, if I can, whatever I have, if I can help you get there, let's do this. And
Right.
it was like I said, you were being trained. Didn't even really probably didn't understand till now
Yes.
that you were
Yes.
already in the training mode for
Yes.
yourself.
And I did not even know it. And then when I went through life challenges in life, I understand like, wait a minute, I am my own. I wrote in a book. I said I made a quote. I said that only person who can stop us from our destiny, our future, or hinder our purpose is us.
Mm.
Nobody else can do that. And so when I went through life and saw ways about me that wasn't right, you know what I'm saying, that wasn't pleasant. And when I got divorced, that's when it really became extremely clear to me, extremely clear about some ways about me that wasn't going to be fruitful for me and was going to hinder success in life for me if I didn't change it. And so because of that, when I started allowing myself to really dig into the deepness of myself a few years back, and then when by the time the book came out, I realized that, you know what, it's the honey. And people
Mm-hmm.
need honey. And that's, and then when the COVID happened, and then people come out of COVID, and just that transition, it was
Mm-hmm.
a lot. And so that's kind of helped also push out the honey even the more. Like, the people need honey. And even even men say it, even the men get it. It's like,
See
you're right.
that?
The men see it, and men get it. So
Mm-hmm.
it has, it's been a blessing in my life, and it's blessed others when they think about saying the honey. Because people call me up, believe it or not, people call me up and say, you know what? I need some honey. I said, well, okay, well, okay,
That is
let's
so
talk.
nice.
Let's talk. Let's talk.
Wow.
Because they deal with things on their job. So people
Yes.
are like, so okay, I'm dealing with this on my job, and this happening, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to retaliate, or I don't want to respond back,
The
because
wrong
people
way.
are catching on that, it's true that honey do attract things. And if I want success in life, or I want my relationship to be successful, then I
Mm-hmm.
need this in my life more so than me responding negatively, or out of order, or out of character, or with bad attitude. So
Yes.
people are really starting to catch on, like you said, catch on to it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a blessing. And like I said, it is, it's just blessed to me, because I say God is good. Yeah.
I like that. I like how they call you and say, you know what? I just need some honey. I need some honey. Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's see. Yeah, so I love how you said, Queen, when you said people call you and they said they want some honey, because again, it's going back to going through that day, your day, and like all this negative stuff started to come, especially like you said, you're dealing with customers, and then you need somebody to say, look, can you give me something? Because I don't want to really go off on these people.
Yes. Yes. I
I
don't
know
want.
I can't, I need to keep my cool.
Yeah. And that is what the honey is about. And believe it or not, that's part of it. I should say not all of it, but that's part of it. And that's something that I had to learn. And so I had to be the first student of that. And
Yeah.
so now I'm at a place where I'm getting it, and I'm mindful of it a lot more. It's on the front, I call it my frontal of my mind. And so it's there now, and it's in my heart. So
Yeah.
yeah, so it is all the time. I'm eating honey too, y'all. Just know, y'all out there, I'm eating honey too. I'm taking my own advice. Listen, I'm taking my own advice. I'm not just telling y'all, do this and do that, and I don't do it. I practice I'm practicing what I say, what I advise, and the wisdom I've learned and I gained. I have to do it too, every
Mhm.
day, every day.
I was thinking when you said you do it, that commercial with the hair where they say,
Yeah.
"Well, I'm not only, the owner of it and the creator of it. I'm a client too." So
Right, exactly. Daily client, daily
yeah,
client. I'm
I'm
telling you.
my own client. We even after I created it too. So yeah,
That's funny. I am. Trust me, I am. When I say I am, I
so,
am.
but you know what, Queen, we're all that. Even the business I am. I mean, I was my own client before I became, being like you said, that coach or
Yeah.
consultant, because your stories, what you go through, like you said, your valleys of your life take you through where you're basically testing out your own product. I mean, in a sense,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can help people, and then see that makes you even more of an expert and a connection, because now you understand, because you went through it, you deal with it, you do the honey thing yourself.
That's
So when
right.
other people come to you, you're like, hey, I know I get it, because I have walked through it myself, and that's why I can walk through it with you. So that's what I
Exactly.
love about your whole concept of that. So that's amazing. So I
Yeah.
wanted to get into, because you mentioned about a little while ago, you're talking about, we're the kind of only person that can kind of stop our own, route or destiny, what we're trying to do, because it's, we have to make that decision. And I know one of the things you do is you help, you're talking about walking true, authentic identity. I
Mm-hmm.
love that concept. I wanted you to kind of dig a little bit more into that.
I talk about that so much, even in the book, because I reveal a lot about me in there. I think
Mhm.
when you, and this is a very, it's not a sensitive subject, it's in your face kind of conversation that
Mhm.
can be offensive to some people, but it's truth. And I learned that sometimes when you don't know your identity, you act out of character.
Yeah.
You act out, right? You kind of have attitude. You've been hurt. You don't know who you are really. You're trying to find your way through, and that can come off all different kind of ways. And so I am big on women and men for that, knowing who they are and being unapologetically walking their true identity. I know there's a lot of facade out there. There's a lot of hype. There's a lot of fronting, quote unquote. And I'm big on women being who they are. Like, for example, I'll talk about myself. So I'll put myself on the chopping block. There were times when, in terms of identity, I used to do things just because I thought that was the thing I was supposed to do. Meaning, like, 'cause remember, I mentioned about serving. So I like to serve. But I'll find myself just doing this and doing that, doing this and doing that. You know how you can be a jack of all trades but master of none?
Yeah.
And you're so involved with everything because you don't know who you are and you don't know your purpose.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And, yeah. So me too. Been there, okay? Guilty as charged. Been there. And so because I've been there, I am able to identify that. And I'm able to identify when a woman who's trying to come off real tough, but really she's just really soft and she just hurt. And so she's masquerading or he's masquerading, you see all those masks. And so I am at a point where I'm saying, ladies, we don't have to be this way. We don't have to be over aggressive. We don't have to be over assertive to prove our point. And I've been that way. I've been the one who thought I had to be real stern to be respected. But when I knew who I was and my identity and who I'm, the grace of my life, I didn't have to show up those ways.
Yes.
And I think that comes from a lack of not knowing who you are. And it really does. Sometimes it can be low self-esteem, it can be some rejection. It can be deep things.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it can be very deep things. So not knowing who you are. And so I talk about that because I think sometimes not knowing who you are prevents you from really releasing the honey. I use the honey in that way as a metaphor, but the deeper conversation is the fact that I don't believe people know who they are and they mask it. And I'm saying, no, ladies, let's uncover that and let's eat the honey and be your authentic self. If you are full of life and joy, you don't have to be mean or what's the word I'm looking for?
Or just be, well, a lot of times some people do is like they try to be somebody else, or they see somebody
right.
And that's not yourself either, like you said. Yeah.
Right. And that's truly not being yourself. And that happens. And I see that. It's almost a trend to be a certain way. If somebody else do it, they feel they got to do the same thing too. And nobody could be their authentic self, the unique stuff. Like me with the honey, it is so unique. No one else is seeing that out there. No one else is doing that. I know people look at me like, what she mean the honey coach? What is she talking about the honey? But what I'm doing is I'm leading by example because I believe in being influential, not just an influencer, but influential. And it's teaching the ladies that, no, I could be my true self. I could smile on pictures. I don't have to have a duck face because everyone else is doing that or everyone else is posing this way or this way. No, we can be our own self. So I'm advocating for women to be their own self. I'm advocating for women to show up as you. Show up as you. Show up as who you are called to be. Show up as that. You don't have to show up being like Pam, being like Paul, being like Randy, being like Rhonda. No, be like who you are called to be. If you smile, if you're full of life and joy, if you are, just be you.
Yeah.
And that's what I am. Oh my goodness, I talk about that so much about the identity because I see it even now with women being more aggressive, being more manly.
Yes.
And not being ladylike. And so even that is a question of lack of not knowing their identity.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Even not knowing their identity, but some women, well, I was talking women right now and men too, like you said, they feel like they have to do that in order to move the needle in their lives or whatever. They have to be this, and like you just said, Queen, I love because me and you are on the same page with this about being your true uniqueness, your gift that God has given you. He has given you a gift for a reason.
He has given.
He has given us a gift for a reason. And just because you're at a place and I feel like I should be in the same place with you, we're two different people. There's a reason why I'm in my place and you're in your place, and we shouldn't be looking at each other saying, "Well, Shantay, she's in that place, so I want to be over here. She's doing this and this and that." You know how we get all caught up in that. No, you be you, because right now what's going on is what you are being. Your uniqueness is portrayed. So yeah, that's
right.
I think people get caught up in that too much.
And that comes to that right. That is a lack of identity, because if you get caught up in comparison, which we should never do, you can admire, you can respect, you can honor what someone else does. But when you get into the comparison, it's because you don't know who you are. You get what I'm saying? And that is something that's going on a lot. And it's something, and some people get out and they get into doing things on their own, and they have not been graced to do it, not been called to do it. They don't, they're out of their lane.
Yeah.
They're out of their lane.
They're
out of their lane. Let's just put in a nutshell. They're out of their lane. So
And when you get out of your lane, I've noticed, and I've told people this too, just like you, I know you coach people and counsel people, that as soon as you go in somebody else's lane, everything you try to do is going to be an extra effort, or you try to figure out, why is this so hard, or why can't I get this, or why I'm not creative in this area. So because you're not in the lane of your own genius, your own uniqueness, you're somewhere else where you should be. So you need to go back to where you need to be, and everything's going to start flowing. Now, I'm not going to say everything's going to be like easy, but even if it's hard, you're going to feel comfortable because it's something that you're in your lane doing. You're just working at it. And that's why I tell people, no, you have a uniqueness. Don't worry about it. But they're doing this, and they're on stages, and they doing that, and the list goes on. And I'm just sitting here serving 2 or 3 people. Well, that's your purpose right now. Not saying it's not going to grow, but you're in your.
And you have to know where you at in life.
Yeah.
And you have to know what's for you, and that is in this culture, in this time where everybody just putting out everything and just trying to move so fast, and get out there, and by any means necessary, it is creating this way that everybody should just do that. And people growing up thinking, all I gotta do is just start a blog or start get on YouTube. Kids are saying nowadays, I just want to be a YouTuber.
Yeah, I know. I said, what? Everybody, you don't have nothing else you want? No, I just want to be a YouTuber. And it's like, oh no.
Be on YouTube. I'm not saying that, but it's just, you get what I'm saying? Like, everybody is just.
They wouldn't, or influ, like you said, YouTuber and influencer. They just want to be an influencer,
I just want to get on TikTok. Just give me a TikTok. Be on TikTok. Just be on TikTok. That's it. Just get the money there on TikTok. But you know what? But even then, that's why I'm so advocate people walking in who they call to be and their true identity, because then they won't be just going down rabbit holes. Yeah.
And understanding what certain things are used for. Like I always tell people, I say, it's great that you want to be on YouTube. It's great that you want to be on TikTok, but that's a tool for you to get to what you.
It's a tool.
Not just the it.
Right.
So.
Right. Exactly.
But Queen, I want to make sure, because with time, is to give you just 30 seconds to kind of any lasting wisdom that you have. I mean, you gave us the wisdom about the honey, but I know you have so much more. And then I'll come back and we'll make sure that they understand where they can contact you. So I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, I wanted to just share really, really quickly, and I wrote it down about influential leaders and influential coaches. And I want to just give some tips on that. And I want to just share this out with you all. Anyone who wants to be influential leader, influential coaches, as coaches, we are not only influential, but we're also influencers. And one thing we do, we lead by example. So coaches, we lead by example. We are coaches that are purpose-minded. I'm a coach that's purpose-minded, driven by that desire to see people be better than who they were. Number 3, I would say we are not only purpose-minded, but we distinguish, believe in being effective and efficient and excellent, inspiring, driven, distinguish, At the end of the day, we want to transform and empower lives. And that's me as a coach, to transform and empower lives. And I believe in this time and era, we need people who not just influence. It's good to influence because you make impact, but it's a difference when you are influential. I'm an influential coach because I believe in your purpose. I believe in your destiny. I believe that you have a call and a purpose in your life. And I'm not here just to influence you, which is part of being influential, but also be influential in your life, to coach you to be better than who you was, because you do get more honey. You do get more and you accomplish more and you go further with honey than vinegar. So I want to be that coach. I am that coach, that honey coach that believes in being not only one who will influence you, but be influential and that will hold you accountable to your goals, to your objective. And I believe that in this time and era, we need coaches like that. And that's the kind of coach that I am. So I leave you with that wisdom. I leave you with that. And to honestly let you know that, hey, you can do this. So anyone who's out there who needs that coach, who needs someone to push them, hold them accountable, who say, you know, I want a healthy relationship, I want greater success. That's the kind of coach I am, and that's the kind of coach you need in this hour. So thank you for allowing me to share.
And she dropped the mic. Queen, it has been an honor and a pleasure. Your family, I keep telling you, your family now. Yes. So if you want any time, give us all that good wisdom that you have so I can teach my people out there where I work at. they're getting the honey with the vinegar, so now I got to give them some other things that you told me.
Yeah.
But then I'm basically going to tell them, like, you know what? If you want more of this, you got to hire her. You can't get it from me. I told you, I gave you just a little goodie, good gold nugget. Now you got to go hire my queen now.
Yes. We'll walk this out and you'll have greater success. I'm telling you, I'm a living witness of the honey. I'm a living witness how it attracts things in your life, opportunities. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing about the honey. And if I was ever say anything else behind you, because you're speaking now, but I've learned that the honey attracts opportunities. Mm. It has attracted me to be on this podcast, the Coaches Lounge. It has attracted opportunity, doors to open, me to get in rooms and spaces with people. And so that's why it's so important that we let go any bitterness, any vinegar, any negativity, because it will hinder doors being open and we will not be able to stay in those rooms. So we need the honey because it will attract. Bees are attracted to honey. Opportunity is attracted to honey. Wealth is attracted to honey. Relationship, marriages, friendship, all that is attracted to honey. Mm-hmm. And that is something that, money
powerful.
You gotta have that in you. Woo. Okay.
So everybody, please, you see I have her contact. I've been having it go through because I want everybody to go to her website. Queen, thank you so much for just being who you are and being your authentic self so you could teach us so we can be our true selves and know that our gifts are important. So I appreciate you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Queen Bar.
Always welcome back. And as I tell everybody, you know, I'm spotlighting the experts as this Queen here and others to remember, like we just said, like Queen said here, be your authentic self because you have a gift in you that's so important, not just for you, but then after you understand who you are, then you can help others. So with that, we'll see you at our next Coaches Lounge. Thanks again, Queen.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.